So when the new CS2 Austin Major update was released, I was really hyped. I was really excited. I said, hey, we finally get bordered stickers. No more borderless. Valve is listening to the community. That is awesome. That is great. But one of my initial takeaways right away was, dang, we're not getting any team charms. I think this is a big swing and miss, a big missed opportunity from Valve. I can't believe it because that's another thing the community has been asking for quite some time. That would just make a ton of sense as we've seen, charms come out within the past year. Why are they not doing this? But as people have dove into this thing more and more, it seems like we might be getting some kind of new charms coming to the Austin Major after all. That's what we need to talk about in this video today. Today's video is sponsored by Pirate Swap, an automated CS2 trading platform where you can turn your skins into new ones simple and easy. All you have to do is click on the skins that you want to get rid of and then click on the new skins that you want to own and select confirm trade. It's that simple, it's that easy. And Pirate Swap has an amazing collection of skins, so you will definitely be able to find something that you like. And if you use the discount code GERM on Pirate Swap today, you're actually going to be able to claim a free $10 bonus and be able to get a 35% deposit bonus as well. So it's an awesome site with awesome features offering you an amazing discount. So there's no reason to not go check out Pirate Swap with that first link in the description below today. And thank you to them for sponsoring this video. We have this tweet from Jesus where he says, if it turns out Valve decided to add some kind of crazy souvenir charms to these things without even bothering to mention it in the release notes, it'll be one of the most base things they've ever done. And that is what's very, very confusing with Valve. Oftentimes they drop this huge new release notes and put out a tweet and put out a blog post and all this stuff, but they don't always explain everything. They don't always explain, things maybe as in-depth as they should. And in some ways that's cool. You get to find out the hidden Easter eggs and there's always like more hidden stuff around the corner, but in some ways it's kind of annoying too because you don't really know what to expect and it leaves some ambiguity and it leaves some suspense and leaves some expectations that sometimes get fulfilled and sometimes end up letting people down and stuff like that. So what the heck is Jesus talking about here? Well, first of all, let's look at the tweet that he is mentioning first. We have this from Aqua's Missing, where after this was released, he came out and said the Austin Major souvenir weapons will have a charm attached to them that leads to a highlight from the match that you got the souvenir package for. What is Valve cooking? And he releases this, which is a bunch of code, that has now been added into CS2, where it says, attribute highlight reel, the highlight from whatever match. You have the CSGO event highlight reel description. Attached highlight celebrates the, blank match between these two teams at whatever major. You have the CSGO event highlight reel charm description. Attached souvenir charm features a highlight from blank match between these two teams at this event, and then the item contained in this souvenir package has a souvenir charm featuring a highlight from this match. Now again, this left people with so many questions, but one of the answers here is that we are getting some kind of new charm as part of souvenirs and the souvenir packages at the Austin CS2 Major. So first up, this is really, really important because souvenir packages have been mostly dead over the past couple years because these things are just boring. Not only are they getting old and repetitive, but they're also not unique or interesting in any way. Like, why would somebody care about buying, the new Copenhagen or the new Shanghai souvenir packages or whatever? Because there's already a huge supply of these souvenir packages for the exact same maps from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the past majors. And there's nothing unique to the new, Copenhagen or Shanghai that sets it apart in any way. Yes, you do have, the Copenhagen and Shanghai stickers, but those stickers can be scraped. Those stickers can be put on other things. There's not, souvenirs that are unique to the player's signatures or anything like that anymore. There's just really no reason. These souvenirs have become oversaturated. Once upon a time, souvenirs were cooler, but now that you can just buy them up in unlimited quantities, and there's already unlimited quantities of these in the stores, the Steam market and third-party marketplace and everything year round. If you want, a Mirage souvenir package or a Dust 2 souvenir package or whatever, you don't need to wait for a new major to come out. You could have bought that time and time again. In one of Anomaly's new videos, he tweeted out, or he has this in it, where he talks about how, the numbers, especially for the recent Shanghai major for souvenir packages, the estimates have absolutely fallen off a cliff. You can see here, Vertigo went from like 250,000 of these being unboxed back in 2021 to almost 30,000 only unboxed from the Shanghai major. That is an epic fall off. And then you have Mirage, 4 million Mirage souvenir packages unboxed during Stockholm 2021, down to 361,000 during the Shanghai major. So souvenirs have needed a revamp. They've needed a rework. They've needed to do something different to get people to care about them again, because Valve is seeing that what they've been doing with major items over the past few years, not only on the sticker side, but also on the souvenir side as well, has not been working. Things have gotten stale. Things have gotten boring. People do not care anymore, and those numbers are falling off a cliff. We're talking about 90% drop-offs in sales for both stickers and souvenir packages. That's the estimate, somewhere in there, over the past couple of years, which is insane. So obviously this is their new attempt at getting people to care about souvenirs again, and also making souvenirs unique to the specific major, to the specific matches, to the specific, you need to get this specific souvenir package from this game, this match, whatever. And it's also going to make things a lot more interesting. Now, what is still left to be questioned here is, what are these charms even going to look like? Are they going to be a team charm? Is it going to be like, oh, you got dropped this match highlight from Falcons in their match in the first round of the playoffs, whatever, the first round of the knockout stage, so it's going to be a Falcons charm, and then it's going to have a highlight on it that you can click, that you can open up, you can view, whatever? Is it just going to be some kind of Austin major charm where all the charms are going to look the same, but they're all going to have different highlights? Is there going to be some way that the charms are going to differentiate the match, like it's going to have two teams in it? Is it going to be player charms? Like there's just so many different ways they can do this, and we really don't even know what's going on. And then the other big question is that, are these charms going to be detachable? Because obviously right now we have the charm removal tool, and hey, if these things are unique to the weapons, unique to the souvenirs, unique to the packages that they're in, and they get stuck on the weapons, that's one thing. But if they can just be removed and placed onto other weapons and then whatever, that's kind of cool in its own way too. But it also makes the souvenirs a lot less unique. It makes the souvenirs a lot less exciting when you'll just be able to get those charms and pop them on any weapons. But it might make the charms themselves a little bit cooler, and hey, if the charms then can be individually sold, I don't know. There's just a couple different ways Valve could do this. I think most people are hoping that the charms will not be able to be detached, but then that would be kind of weird, because it is still a charm, and why would some charms be able to be detached and some can't? I don't know. I'm going to be really, really curious to see how this plays out. But here are a couple mock-ups of what this might look like. Remix Floats, he tweeted out, in light of the new souvenir charms found in the CS2 update files, I made some mock-ups. The item contained in the souvenir package has a souvenir charm featuring a highlight from this match. So again, here's what he thinks a souvenir could look like: a gold arabesque with just kind of like a blast major logo, or something with like a bunch of playing cards on it. Obviously that would be like, hey, if somebody gets an ace, maybe it's a bunch of aces or cards or whatever, and then when you go to inspect the skin or whatever, you then have like a highlight reel option where you can click on it, and then it would show a highlight. There's the Monacy ace from this match against FaZe at the Austin Major. So that would be pretty cool. In some ways it's interesting. In some ways I could also see how people wouldn't really care about it still. I think this is going to be I think it's going to have a short-term uptick. I think this could be kind of a gimmick that gets old pretty fast, but in some ways I think it could be pretty cool. If you have like a really epic major highlight moment reel, and it actually ends up becoming rare or unique or hard to get in some way, that could be cool. But still, even if there is some crazy moment, crazy clip, insane clutch 1v4 moment, 1v5 ace, still, if there's just unlimited of them that we can just buy up, it's not going to be rare, it's not going to be collectible, and it's not going to be valuable, and it's still not really going to get people to care that much, because at the end of the day, you're still unboxing these care packages for the skins, and these skins are still a dime a dozen, with millions of them sold during Stockholm, millions of them sold during Antwerp, millions of them sold during Paris, hundreds of thousands sold during Shanghai, hundreds of thousands sold during Copenhagen. So I don't know, is this really enough to bring souvenir packages back and really get people hyped up and excited again? I'm not sure. Again, I know a lot of people out there just want plain old team charms in a bunch of different ways, gold, hollow, whatever kind of team charms would be super, super sick. And like I said, these charms could still be team charms. These could still have the team logos that then load into some kind of highlight reel from whatever team and player you have. That is very, very possible, but it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't seem like the direction we're going to be going. I know a lot of people would just be able to buy these as like standalone keychains or standalone charms, or being able to buy them in some kind of charm package like we got from the patches in Stockholm or something like that. Thor tweeted out, there's a new item called Keychain Highlight, which refers to the Austin 2025 highlight. Souvenir charm commemorates a blast Austin 2025 CS2 Major Championship and features a highlight reel. Some more strings and stuff about that. So again, more people kind of tweeting this out and confirming it. CS Money saying, oh my god, we will have personalized charms for souvenirs just like our concept, and then tweeting out this donk gold charm. So there could be team charms, maybe it'll even be a charm of the player specifically, and their highlights. Again, I don't think they're going to be doing this. I think this is just a little bit funny, a little bit of a meme and a joke, but this would be really really crazy. This would be really cool. You know, a donk charm, a simple charm, whatever, would be insane. They had tweeted stuff like that out previously as well. You know, a nice little simple charm. You can see that on the gun there, and a liege charm, something like that. But again, also there are tons of people who just want these team charms, and here's also what these concepts would look like in 3D as well. You know, you got Phase, Heroic, Maus, Team Spirit, G2, Liquid, Mongols. I think this would all be very, very cool. But again, I don't even think these are a long-term solution, because still I think keychains would be a nice one-off gimmick for a major, but I think keychains are another thing that would get old and would get stale pretty fast if we saw those like 3, 4, 5 majors in a row. Overall, I think Valve needs to realize that no matter what they decide to do, they need to mix things up every single major. They need to be constantly innovating, constantly evolving. And yeah, that is a lot of work, and that might be hard, that might be impossible, but that's the only way that they're going to keep people actually excited and continuing to purchase stuff like that. But also, just as far as the souvenirs go, people are saying, obviously, we have some different souvenirs and stuff that are in the armory right now, like the Train 2025 collection. But if you are looking to get some Train stuff, you might just want to wait and hold out until these souvenirs start to drop, because again, if people start opening up these souvenirs in the hundreds of thousands or the millions or whatever, you might be able to get these Train 2025 skins a lot cheaper, and you can get them on third-party marketplaces or on Steam or whatever right now, because if the supply starts going up a lot, we could see prices start to drop, not only for the current skins we have, but also just the souvenir skins having lower price overall. So if you're wanting, the Long Dong or the Tech 9 Whiteout or whatever, maybe you want to wait a couple months, maybe you'll be able to pick up a souvenir a lot cheaper if you're just trying to use it as like a play skin or something like that anyway, and maybe you'll even get some kind of crazy charm on it as well. But maybe that'll make prices skyrocket. Maybe it'll end up being more expensive than the normal skins. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But again, I was initially disappointed that it didn't seem like we were getting any kind of charms in the new update, but now it actually seems like some charms are going to be coming our way. It could be cool. They could be trash. We'll have to wait and see what Valve has cooking, but we're still like a couple weeks away from probably finding out more information about this. But maybe Valve will give us some more news and an update or something before these care packages actually go live. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Either way, at least it's something new coming. And we got border stickers as well. So honestly, this could end up being a really, really sick major content-wise, and I hope it's a really fun major to watch as well. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.